Hi, this is Christine Prasad for Best Buy Canada, and today I'm going to walk you through the Dyson V12 Detect Slim cordless stick vacuum. So it's one of several new models in Dyson's line. I've been using Dyson vacuums for quite some time, so I'm pretty familiar with the models and how they work. Again, this is one of the newer models that features better power, longer battery life, as well as some new design features that owners of older Dyson vacuums or new purchasers will really enjoy. So it has the 11 cyclones and hyperdynium motor, which offers really powerful suction to pick up dust and debris as small as 0.3 microns. It comes with a variety of attachments, some of which I've got here. There are a couple standout ones. So the main motor head cleaner has hair removal vanes, so it's designed to capture hair and it won't wind up and get stuck like you might find with other vacuums. But the real standout one is the Laser Slim Fluffy Cleaner Head. So you might have heard about this, you might have seen it in other Dyson vacuums. It has lasers basically that illuminate the floor, hard flooring or tiles green, so that you can physically see the dust particles that are being picked up. It also has a screen at the top that will show you via the piezo sensor exactly what microscopic particles or how many microscopic particles are being picked up, the size and the count. So it really gives you a sense of how you're cleaning and how dirty your floors might be. If you think that you've already run a vacuum and they're clean, and then you use this, you realize, wow, there's a lot more dust that can be picked up. And then you've got other tools, like the detangling brush, the anti-tangle screw brush, which is great if you have pets in the home and you want to clean things like the pet bed or just the floors and furniture that might have a lot of pet hair shedding on them. So a couple of features are different from older Dyson vacuums, which you'll notice. One really noticeable one is that there's a power button at the top of the machine now versus a trigger that you have to hold and pull. I really love that. It took a bit of getting used to, but I found even with the older models, when I would pull out the Dyson vacuum to vacuum, I'd often hit the trigger button by accident. This also frees up both your hands, because you don't need to hold down a trigger. You can just press the power on and then vacuum, just holding onto the handle without sticking your index finger onto the trigger all the time. So there are three power modes. There's an auto mode that intelligently adapts to the floors or carpets, whatever you're cleaning, to make sure that it gets a nice deep clean. There's eco mode, which will work for lighter cleans. If you just do, say, daily kitchen cleanups every night after cooking dinner, you can probably use eco mode and extend the battery life. And then there's boost mode for quick, intensive cleans. If there's a spill, for example, or a particularly soiled area, you can use boost mode. So the battery itself should last about an hour per charge once it's fully charged. If you use boost mode, that will significantly reduce the runtime. So for example, if I had about 30 minutes in auto mode, switching to boost mode would only give me about 7 minutes. But you're only going to use boost mode occasionally, and everything docks neatly into the charging dock that you can mount on the wall, so you can just plop it back in there and it'll continuously charge until you're ready for the next clean. So I really love the docking system and the slim design of Dyson vacuums like this one. We have it set up in between a strip of wall between our refrigerator and our door to our backyard, and it fits beautifully there. In terms of using it, it works really well. I noticed a major difference between this and my years-old Dyson vacuum. Maneuvering is really easy, and I noticed especially in the kitchen around corners where the cupboards hit the wall, or the sides of the cupboards, it really gets dirt and debris out from there a lot better, especially if you use the boost mode, if you've got a lot of crumbs that are piling up in the corners, for example. I tried a few different scenarios. I purposely spilled some crumpled up potato chips and left particularly some big pieces, just so I could get a feel for how it works. I did notice that it took a few passes to pick up all the pieces, and for the particularly large pieces I activated boost mode and again had to do a few passes. At first it was kind of pushing around, but then it eventually picked it up. So It works even for larger pieces. Now we don't have pets in the house, so I did a nice cleanup of my hairbrush. You can see my hair, it sheds quite a bit. So I cleaned up my hairbrush and kind of sprinkled the hair onto the hardwood floor. And I turned on boost mode, and before I even passed the vacuum, it kind of sucked it all up into the cleaner head. So that was really, really impressive. I can imagine if you have pets like cats or dogs, this would be a really great vacuum to have. Now the screen, I should mention, also shows a running countdown of your battery life. So that's really great if you're planning to do a big clean around the house. You can take a look and see how much battery you have left, so you know if you can get a specific room done or when you're going to have to recharge and move on to a different task before you can finish. But at 60 minutes at the regular mode, you should be able to clean most surfaces in a home. Like other Dyson vacuums, once again, you can detach all the different attachments as well as the stick portion and just attach a piece right to the main chamber and use it as a handheld vacuum, which is great for things like blinds, even if you want to take it out to the car, to your mattress, or even to do stairs so that you don't have to stand far back and use the stick to pass back and forth or up and down. So that's really convenient. That's one of my favorite features of Dyson vacuums, and what makes them even more versatile. Now, the other difference between this model and older models is the hygienic emptying bin. So it's really easy to do. You just push down on the red piece at the bottom, and all of the garbage or the dirt and debris falls right out into your garbage can, which is really great. You don't have to touch anything. Now you'll notice that if you have a lot of hair and things like that, it can get wound up and you might need to use your hands or some kind of object to pull it out. It won't all fall out nicely, but regular crumbs, dust, debris, and that will easily just come right out of the bin. So that is really nice. And as mentioned, everything's stored really neatly in the charging dock. So it's a really great system. I'd suggest getting a basket of some kind to store all the attachments underneath, so it's really easy to just grab and go. So some of my favorite features of this vacuum, again, are the new power button trigger, versus the trigger, I should say. The hygienic emptying bin, the infinitely better battery life compared to really old models if you've been hanging on to one that you've had for years. The hair removal works really well. I mentioned putting my hair from my hairbrush onto the floor and sucking it up, and I did check the motor head cleaner after, and it didn't wind up the hair that it was stuck in the bristles, so that was really cool. It's easy to just clean it out if anything does get stuck there. The laser slim fluffy head I really enjoy. I had reviewed this in a previous Dyson vacuum as well, and initially I thought it might be kind of a novelty feature, but it really, really works well, and it kind of gives you a wake-up call to see, wow, like I really need to clean my floors better. And if you have kids, they may be excited to turn off the lights, throw on their headphones, and vacuum their bedroom, looking at the screen and seeing the illuminated light that shows where any dust and debris might be hiding. So this is the Dyson V12 Detect Slim cordless stick vacuum. One of the newest models in the lineup is mentioned, and you can read more details about my time with this vacuum and my thoughts on the Best Buy blog in my full review. Thank you so much for watching.